Hello, I'm back. Penny here, and as promised, I'm going to do a comparison between the Mirage watch roll and the Bosphorous watch roll. Listen, I know this is not a fair comparison. You're looking at two completely different price points. So this watch roll I think retails around $70 on Amazon. It might have even been cheaper when I bought it because I've had the Mirage a while. I've had it at least a year, maybe a year and a half. And the Bosphorus I just got a few weeks ago. So, but while I have all my watches, I wanted to show a little bit of a comparison between the two rolls because they're usually, stored away. So, okay, here's the Mirage. I don't know if the interiors have different options in terms of color, but I have the brown one on the outside and it's brown on the inside. And it has a slide-in system, so the cushions slide in and out. And you can get each one out and sit the pillows. The pillows are a pretty wide size. They're soft, they're not as soft as the Bosphorus, but they're not hard, they're not rock hard, they feel fine. I was concerned when I first bought this that these might wear out. This like edge, these sliders might break off or something. They have not in a year and a half period. So that's held up. The thing that I have not enjoyed is that the tops fray. If you're sliding your watches in and out a lot, maybe over time, at least in my case, I've gotten these edges to fray. And the only other thing I haven't liked is the stiffness of the top. So it's not, like the Bosphorus, you can't really lay this down. You can't have this conveniently or comfortably lay flat. It's going to fold up. There is a board or material or something in here that really keeps this pretty stiff, the opening. So you don't have an area to just lay it flat. You're always kind of fighting this. As a result, I often just tuck it here when I want to look at the watches in the roll. And so yeah, let me put these back in and see, like I'm not struggling at all to get it in. It goes in, but it's just, the fraying does happen over time. It can happen. Maybe it depends on how often you're using this. And for a while, we kept this one at home. So we were, sliding watches in and out pretty often. So here the watches are in the roll, kind of tucked into the furthest position. Like I push them down. So for me, I don't really like that. We'll turn it this way. I don't like them being this low. So one of my pet of OCD sort of features or issues with this is that I like the watches to all be in the same height, and I don't want them, being a little bit blocked by this bottom view. Like in the case of the Speedmaster, you can, see it's kind of tucked in here a little bit, so I don't have a clear view. I like them up like this. So I kind of like them closer to the top. The problem is that they're not really designed to stay that high up. The pillows will slide down, and I feel like I'm always adjusting when I look at the watches, trying to line them up. So, that's a minor thing, but it is what it is. They don't really compare. That's what I'm going to say. I think if you don't want to spend a lot of money on a watch roll, you don't really mind that, it's a cheaper watch roll, sure, you could probably be quite happy with this. I mean, I have had it for a while. The problem I have with this roll overall is the aesthetics. It does not wow me when I look at my watches in this case. And it's really subjective. It's not the fault of the company or anything like that. Part of it is the color. Okay, so I don't think brown is sexy, guys. It's not sexy to me. I look at these watches, even though these are my 3 lower tier watches, I guess, they're the non-Rolex watches, I still love these watches. But when I look at them in this watch roll, I feel really uninspired. I mean, the brown on the brown, the little bit raggedy, ness to the case, the raggedy aspect of the case, no matter what watch was in here, I felt underwhelmed when I opened it. And that was a problem for me. There is no, there doesn't feel upscale. It doesn't feel special. And you might not need that with your watch storage. It may be just practical, right? Like you just want a practical watch roll, put your watches in and forget about it. When I open the watch roll, I want to be like, whoa, I want you to wow me. I want to feel butterflies. The watches will do that. I love these 3 watches. And this watch roll is kind of nauseating. It just the look, just purely on aesthetics. Okay, so, and I can guarantee you when I put these 3 watches in the Bosphorous watch roll, I have a completely different feeling. They look better in the nicer case. They just do. So let me just experiment with that, for a second and bring out the bigger, more expensive. Here's the display of all of these together. What if so one downside again to the Bosphorous is you do have to unsnap the pillows to get, to get access to them. But let's move these around. Let's play musical chairs really fast for the watch roll, or with the watch rolls. I'm gonna put some of these other watches in here because it's not about high end or not. It's just about presentation. So let's take off all of these watches, and on camera, I didn't really think I was gonna do this, but let's just try it. Okay, so swapping them out. Let's put the IWC in here, and give me this, and let's take the Batman out. Okay, take the Batman off, the LNR, I like to call it, and I'm gonna put them on here. So just quickly switching these around. Musical chairs. Okay, we got Speedmaster. Let's put the Speedy over here. This is my favorite watch anyway, so let's put the Speedy where it belongs. This is why I've ordered another case, because I realized for me, the storage does matter. And a $300 watch roll is not that expensive. Now, I will say that the cushions, in terms of size, my watches fit looser on this cushion than they do on here in general. So that is take that for what it is. All right, and then I'm putting the three of these over here. So let's, might have to do this part a little bit off camera. I don't have a tripod. I'm not fancy with the YouTube. Because your girl has to pay the bills and get work done. And I can't really invest that much time into the YouTube stuff, but I do enjoy the community and the feedback and everything from folks who watch my few videos. All right, so now let's just do this test, psychological testing here on the spot, folks. Will I feel? How do I feel? I'm gonna try to give you an honest reaction to how I feel with this arrangement for the watches in a different. Is it the brand, right? Is it the watch brand in the watch roll, or is it the watch roll impacting how you view, the brands? I don't know. Let's see. I know how I felt when it was my only watch roll, and it is a bit of you feel the kind of pushback. It's not like you're pushing against. I think these buttons on the Bosphorous are right in the middle where the connectors are. They're not pushing on your watches, which might be why there's 3, because there's 3 pillars in there in the middle. So it doesn't want to, impact your, I don't know why the dog's barking. You're not pushing down on the face of your watch. They're further in there. Okay, guys. So here's the test. We've got, I don't know what the dog's barking at. We got 2 watch rolls. I switched up the brands. Doesn't matter what's inside. Like I said, my non-Rolexes are in this Mirage. I open them. I feel uninspired when I look at them. Now we've put it. Let's see. Well, for sure, I like the way these watches look. See, again, I'm always adjusting the pillows. But it does not look as good. It doesn't look as sexy, as classy, as exciting. I'm not feeling, let's say my response to opening this is like a B-. If I had to grade my feeling, it's like a B-. And not bad, but not, oh, yeah. You know, I don't feel butterflies, but I feel better than I did with the other watches in here. Just in terms of looking at my collection, right? So let's move that aside, and now let's open the Bosphorous and see honest reaction, guys. How do I feel looking at these watches now? In here, less expensive brands, but they're in this watch roll. Oh my goodness, I feel a lot better. I mean, it's more of a let's say an A minus. So a B minus feeling with the Mirage and an A minus feeling when I opened this one. Even though my Speedy's all scratched up, you know, these are not higher end brands necessarily, but I do feel like even with these brands, it looks so much better and more inviting, and especially the Tudor. Damn, that looks really good. You know, it could be the color. I think a lot of it has to do with choosing the wrong color for this. It's just brown. Is brown ever sexy? I don't know. But blue, a darker tone, black would look good. Gray would look good. Even red. They have a red one that I'm kind of curious about, but it might be too much. I feel I have a stronger reaction, a warmer feeling, a happier feeling when I look at the watches in this watch roll. It is true, regardless of the brand, the feelings are elevated when I open this up and just handle them in here versus Mirage, you know? So a $60 or $70 option versus a $300 option, it's really going to depend on how much money you want to spend. But for me, all I can say is the emotional side and the presentation are connected. And I would prefer to look at watches and store watches and something like this versus something like this. So that's my comparison. Let me know what you think. Do you have these watch rolls? Do you have a watch roll that you really like? Do you spend the least amount and save your money for watches? That makes a lot of sense. Or do you like to pay a little bit more so that you like the way the watches look in your case? Let me know in the comments.